shown on the screen, and mostly making contact with their friends and family members were given the highest priority, and especially access to all UN agencies were given. At these centers, a comprehensive study on all ex-combatants were carried out, with intelligence agencies, followed up with a dynamic psychosocial and socioeconomic profiling, in liaison with profiling experts such as clinical psychologists, psychiatrists, medical officers, and counselors. Under these profilings, levels of radicalization and talents and experiences were assessed. And as per the findings of the profilings, rehabilitators were guided to undergo educational, vocational, and skills development programs, along with development of mental tranquility, spiritual enhancement, and expansion of moral values to prepare them to rejoin the community. Use of language was given the highest priority from the commencement of rehabilitation program to prevent continuation of the stigmatization on beneficiaries. Due to proper use of language, all ex-combatants became beneficiaries and child soldiers became our children. Number of countries who are conducting similar rehabilitation programs has adopted the Sri Lankan model, especially in the use of language. Having looked into the nature of the conflict in depth, the necessity of a comprehensive response was evident. This realization was the catalyst to conceive the Sri Lankan rehabilitation model. The Sri Lankan model was based on 6 critical areas as shown on the screen, +1 on the as shown. Spiritual, religious, and cultural rehabilitation, educational rehabilitation, vocational and livelihood rehabilitation, social, economic, community and family rehabilitation, psychological and creative therapy rehabilitation, sports and extracurricular activities, and +1 is awareness for the community. The awareness for the community was organized mainly to educate the government officials, religious and community leaders on rehabilitation and reintegration process in order to clear doubts and uncertainties of the community in accepting these beneficiaries to work together towards peace and unity. Ladies and gentlemen, next I shall show you some of the rehabilitation programs conducted by the Sri Lanka Army. I'll start with child combatants. 594 child combatants, including 231 girls, voluntarily surrendered to security forces for rehabilitation. Out of this number, 273, including 119 girls, opted to continue with the formal education. The Bureau made a special arrangement to transfer these children to a leading Tamil school in Colombo, where they underwent formal education for 1 year prior to reintegration. The balance, including 112 girls, underwent vocational training at Technical College Vavuniya under the Vocational Training Authority. And some of the programs conducted for children are shown on the screen. Special educational programs were arranged for adults who missed the opportunity of continuing their formal education. The Bureau of Commissioner General Rehabilitation with the Education Department conducted an accelerated catch-up education program for those who opted to appear for national examinations. 2 centers were established for these purposes. For your information, ladies and gentlemen, let me show some of the results. This is advanced level 2010 and 2011 results. and ordinary level 2010 and 2011. And most importantly, 212 beneficiaries were selected for the universities. And there will be doctors, engineers, lawyers, and accountants coming from this group. Beneficiaries of manageable age were not deprived of their civic rights. Matrimony, according to their wishes, was facilitated irrespective of their level of radicalization. The Peace Village was established to facilitate reunification of married ex-combatants who were undergoing rehabilitation separately at different centers. 53 couples who had the privilege of being the members of the first mass marriage ceremony of Sri Lanka were housed in this village with a plot of land for cultivation. These beneficiaries underwent rehabilitation and vocational training programs whilst living under one roof as a family unit. Fully fledged mini computer lab with 30 computers were established to enhance IT-related vocational training. This was declared open by His Excellency the President on 1st April 2010. It had the capacity to train approximately 100 persons a day. Over 1,000 ex-combatants have got qualified in IT trades. Ladies and gentlemen, the lady in red is a doctor now practicing in one of the government hospitals in North. Prior to reintegration, all beneficiaries are given the special 3-day workshop on pre-reintegration mentorship covering important areas such as diversity and harmonious living, peace building, role of man and woman in society which they have forgotten, interpersonal relationships and empowerment, educational programs, banking and loan systems and cottage industries, etc. And most importantly, assessment of de-radicalization. Beneficiaries were provided with special medical care, including provision of artificial limbs, wheelchairs, clutches, spectacles, and hearing aids, etc. And for those who have lost or not in possession of national identity cards, birth certificates, marriage certificates, educational certificates were arranged with a special program in liaison with Registrar General's Office and Education Department. Special drama, cultural programs, and art exhibitions were conducted to beneficiaries who had the natural talent in singing, acting, dancing, and works of art. The Bureau created a special cultural group out of beneficiaries whom you witnessed this morning, who performed extremely well and were gainfully used within all centers to convey the message of peace and unity. Some members of this team have become professional actors. You saw one of the actors this morning. And another group had developed a Western musical band. The balance is working as a forum theater, carrying the message of peace and community messages throughout the traumatized societies and in areas in North and East. And some have performed in South as well. They displayed their natural talents through the program Transformation of Color. Reflections of Transformation through Art was an art exhibition conducted in April 2011 using drama and art as another mentor for the beneficiaries to express their feelings. During the process of rehabilitation, such psychosocial rehabilitation activities demonstrated a remarkable improvement in de-radicalization. Developing a musical band with rehabilitees was another dream we had. And the Sri Lanka Army was instrumental in training the band we developed with the rehabilitees. Friends of Peace performed at a number of musical shows at many places, including Colombo. Number of excursions were organized for the beneficiaries to interact with the people in the south and the hill country to understand the concept of brotherhood. On 30th